On Facebook. Hello, my U-Turn family. Welcome to the U-Turn Show. If you are new, this is a platform for empowering our communities through impactful conversations, real life stories, and resources for youth and women. Every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we gather here to spotlight voices that challenge limits and those that reminds us that real change begins the moment we choose to turn in a new direction, to make a U-turn. So, if you are navigating change in your life, looking for clarity, or building the next big thing, you belong here. So, share this conversation and stick with us as we begin the real talk, real growth, real U turn. Thank you, everyone. And for those that have already joined us, please share this conversation. Today we are joined by our very own Jok, who is really an economist, a media personality, football analyst, and as you all know, this is a World Cup season. We thought it would be ideal to have someone like him join us on the U-turn and also to share his passion with us and give us some perspective of what he's doing out there and how we might benefit from it, how we might learn from it, and so we might be joined by a few other colleagues from the U10 family. But for now, why can I give the opportunity to Duke to briefly introduce himself? I don't want to take the shine by introducing him and to share the journey that shaped him to be who he is today and to be here on the U10 platform to turn people minds, turn people hearts. So, Duke, take it away. Welcome to the U10.
Thank you so much, Paul Philip, for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. I believe this is actually a very great opportunity to share our experience and share our thoughts. My name is Jok WäMonychok Paul. I am an economist by profession. I have bachelor degree in economics and masters of art in economic development and policy analysis. I'm the founder of Lab. Initially, it was an initiative, but it became a media platform. And I also founded a small-scale business called the Pinnacle General Trading Company, which I'm operating at. It is struggling, but I'm operating it. And I have also come up with the macro on my day podcast that I'm going to start very soon. Since my childhood, my life has been shaped by football. Earlier in Kakuma, I went to Kakuma in 2000, and I started my school and also played football. And while playing football, I was also watching football. And this is where I have been able to interact with people, both physically and also through watching them on TV. And I've been influenced by football, being a Chelsea fan. And this has been my life. I played football. When I came back to South Sudan, I dropped out of the school. And I first resumed football before going to school. And that actually helped me a lot because I was able to meet people that encouraged me through football. I was able to shine very quickly in Kwajo. So I got a lot of encouragement from the fans, from players and the coaches. I was able to come back to life.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah, welcome back.
So at that time, when I dropped out of the school, I felt like I could not be able to. I have been interrupted. So I resumed my studies, and that was because of football. When I joined secondary school, because by then I resumed my studies in secondary school. I was able to be elected into a leadership position of the school, prefectural body, and I was a deputy head boy. And I gave the credit to football because it was through football that people were able to identify my character. They were able to connect with me, to know me deeper. And it was very easy for me to win that election. And the following year, I was proposed to contest for the position of head boy, which I won comfortably. And I believe it was through football that made me like that. And after finishing my secondary school, I came to university. That's when I chose to study economics. Initially, I wanted to study literature, and literature was number one. Then economics was number two. Number three was engineering. But because of the responsibility that I had in as the head boy, I completely became poor in mathematics. So all those courses that have to do with calculations, I was very weak in them during secondary school. So I had to shift to economics, and of course I was very confident that the knowledge that I had I was going to excel in economics. So that's how I came to say that I'm not going to take engineering. I'm not going to take literature because I realize I can be able to write books, be good at writing without studying literature. Because by then, even in Kenya, we used to write composition. I'm sorry, I'm being interrupted. That's how I came up to choose the career that I've chosen, economics.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, and welcome, Chol Mach. Welcome, Luca, to the U-turn conversation about football, like fanatic. It turned out to be Chelsea fan. I thought it would be somewhere close to Man U, which I'm Man U fan. I'm married to Arsenal fan, and he has been, you know, brainwashing me. So I have my Arsenal in-laws, but I can see the connection of how your passion shape your passion for football actually gave you confidence, shape your leadership journey in school, and help you even to make choices or discover where your strength lie. So really, really inspiring. So you say now you are you transition from just being football you know participant who actually play football in your local team to now being like media talking about football, being fan for the football, and of course you are a passionate economist or economic. You apply your economic journey. So can you talk about how all these things connect to each other, from media to economic to football? Like, what lesson did you learn from each of these and how they support each other? And you can also reflect about current issues in football, like we talked about World Cup and African team being here, being knocked out lately, so we don't have anyone more. So just tell us random thing about how do you connect all these life passions and career goals. And I will welcome the team later on to chime in.
Yeah,
Welcome.
the thing is that when it comes to the journey, the childhood, how we have been brought up, the childhood experience, we have been exposed to many things. One of it was football. The other one was movies, acting. There was some point where we could think that we could be able to act, and we were also having some ambitions of becoming artists. But these were some of the things that we grew up. But life can change. Life can shape life can shape your journey. You can have different direction, and in most cases, when you look back, you don't regret. Like when it comes to football, like I explained before, when we were growing up, we had to take names, football names. And for me personally, I got some names that were given to me because of the way I used to play, but not because I chose them, because I was having my own nickname. Like if you go to my timeline now, you will get Angel Jabik. That was my name, but actually it did not shine the way people call me Lampard, because I was good at shooting. I was a good sharpshooter, and also when I moved to Pajok, I had a hairstyle of Maluda, and people were calling me Maluda. That name became very popular, and this is how life change people. But on my T-shirt, I write Angel Jabik, but the popular name people use uh, is Maluda, and that's how it is, because when you look at how African football is going and how it is happening in Europe, you'll begin to see that there are different opportunities that present themselves to different people. Like in Europe, people are having opportunities of coming up, of becoming stars, because there are a lot of opportunities. There are infrastructures. There's a system that can help you grow. There's a system that can help you identify. People can identify you and see potential in you, and then they invest in you, which is not here in Africa. And the promise was that my child has to play for Chelsea in future, and also has to play for South Sudan. This is my dream up to now. Is still my dream. And although there are challenges, but it will happen. It did not happen to me because I was hoping that I could play for Chelsea. That was my ambition. Since I started watching football in 2002, I started supporting Chelsea, and I had that feeling that I can go if those of the like of Babayaro were there, those of Jeremy were there, and they were African. So I was hoping that these people, if they were able to go to Europe, I could also go. But it did not happen. I was just playing an amateur football where it was not professional. That's it. And one thing I always mention is that football is very important to me, in the sense that even the kind of people that it has connected me with, these are real family. You could call them real family. You see, because someone that can be, that can love you genuinely. Even someone that's not your age, being friend to you because of football, something very good. I'm not talking about the way it has changed life for others, but the way I have been connected with people through football. That's the side. And when it comes to my career, me, I'm someone I was influenced by this writer called Pat Molly. This Pat Molly, in his book The Man in the Mirror, solving 24 problem man faces. And in that, I was able to understand how the life that we are running, is actually a rat race, where you are running after something that you cannot win. It's like you are running in a race that you cannot win. You are running until you get exhausted and then you die. Or you get something later and you realize that was not worth fighting for. This is what I have learned. And he was talking about an old man that was traveling to another city in the US, and he was given that drawing of a rat race, and he said that this is my life. This is my life, because I'm running a rat race. Despite being successful, there's nothing I'm gaining. And I realized that the very important thing in human being is family. And I actually decided to choose a career that could not interfere with my family life, because me, I love family. I love craft kids, craft children. So I don't want a life that can interfere with how I relate with my children. That's why I took part. I tried to come up with a company called The Pinnacle. And the vision was that I needed to be for the family, where I could be able to have my children growing up with me, even so that we work together in the same place. And despite the challenges, the economic challenges we are facing, that dream has never gone. It is almost dying, but it will come back to life. But I have to make it so that I raised my family in a way that I dream of. And that's where I realized that economics will be the best career for me. Also, when it comes to media, media is a platform. It is a platform where you can be able to present yourself. Although there are some negativities about it, but still you can be able to present yourself very well. And you can be able to be known by even people that do not know you, people you could not meet. Take, for example, someone like me who is coming from a very, very humble background. I cannot be able to meet some people if it was not because of social media. I had no platform. I had no power such that I could be known. But social media has given me the opportunity to present myself to others who are able to know me, who are able to identify my potentials. And this, when I come to the point of how I became very active on social media, in 2020, I went to ABI, because I'm from ABI. I went to ABI for an assessment with DDR. And the situation of the people that are there was really horrible. And I realized that I could not do anything. There were some interviews that I was doing. I could cry. I could cry while doing interview because the situation was really bad. And I realized that I could not do anything apart from coming up with a platform that could enlighten people. That's when I came up with the LRBI. The LRBI mean I am going to ABI. The intention was to actually put the focus over one to ABI. And it was actually welcomed by a lot of people, only that it could not achieve all the intention or the objectives that I had in mind. So we were able to mobilize people. We were able to do some public lectures concerning ABI. We were having some t-shirts and we wrote articles and we were able to enlighten people about it. But afterward, I realized that it has been 5 years. We need to move on. We need to change. And that's when I actually abandoned the initiative, and it is now a media platform where the focus should be about, how we can address the other issues, things to do with culture, other things that can be actually beneficial to our people. So you could see that from my profession, to my hobbies, and then to how I relate with my community. They have been connected. And so, like I said it before, human being is a political being. We may decide not to be political, but at a certain level of the society, there are politics going on, even in the family. I hope we are okay with what I've given.
We are very okay, and many people are applauding your points. You are knocking like every point, knocking out is sinking in, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, keep talking, because I like what I'm hearing from your passion in football, the challenges and lessons you've learned. Being like a football, young kid aspiring to be a Chelsea player, but unluckily you are in an environment that does not recognize or invest in potential. You could not achieve that dream, and you had to pivot to areas that make sense to you as a person, as a family man. You want to do a career that will help you build a strong family with the vision of having your child play at one stage at some point, living your dream, or maybe grandchildren. So you are thinking ahead, and that is really inspiring to hear a young person of your kind, from background of a BA, which is still very unstable because of war, and using, your inspiration, your platform to even be advocates on the media. All those things connect very powerfully, and that is the purpose of having that conversation on the U-turn, to actually inspire someone who is now in your shoes, someone who may want to be somebody in future in a field that currently the environment cannot enable. And they can learn from you that despite the fact that you did not live to be a Chelsea player, you can raise a child or who could be a Chelsea player or different, maybe another star team that may come up later on from African context, from South Sudan context. And you are also not just, doing that alone. You are thinking about ways to build, wealth or a structure that will enable you to achieve that dream in future through your children or through your grandchildren. You are an entrepreneur. You have a business that you are building despite challenges. I don't know what you guys are thinking in the comment section. Someone do a junior say my regard to Jok and everyone on the studio. Very strong conversation, many comments. I just want to give my youth and family opportunity to chime in. What are some of their, childhood dreams that they had to abandon, and especially in relation to the World Cup or soccer or sport? Like as young people, we usually have sport. Personally, I want to be athletes. I used to run in high school, and until I met the other sharp runners who are trained in Downey in Moy area, like mountainous region, and I became last in district district race. We were running cross country, and after that, I realized, oh my goodness, maybe I cannot compete in running. Let me compete in academics to get a scholarship to, So I also had a sport growing up. Maybe Jolie, because you are on camera, what are your reaction, your childhood dream, and how does your conversation bring in ideas from your mind?
Okay, thank you, call Philip and brother Joe. I don't know whether I've called your name very well, and Luca
Yeah, that's
and
correct.
Domo.
Very correct.
Okay, okay. Nice having you today live on YouTube. It's been a while, my U-turn family, and it's good to be back. What I can say about sport generally, we grew up in different places, liking different sports, and eventually we became somehow closer. So when during my childhood, I had wanted to be a wrestler, you know. Yeah, because I grew up in the cattle camp, so I had wanted to be a great wrestler like my dad used to be. So and during my growth, suddenly I became someone liking school, and now I'm studying. So, but what I can generally say about sports is that sports is just all the same. What I like about the sport is that there's always a teamwork. Even wrestlers themselves, you go as a representation of a particular group, and also as footballers, you also go as a team. You don't just go as a defender or maybe as a striker to bring out the best of you. You go and work for the team, and that's the same spirit with the wrestlers as well. So and now I'm a football fan. Of course, sometimes my colleagues, my friends, they normally mock me that I'm a new fan. Yeah, and I like it that I'm a new fan because I'm supporting Manchester City and I'm witnessing
Oh.
every history that they're making. Unlike Arsenal fans and Manchester United fans who are now growing and they don't even know what they won and the years that their teams won all those titles. I'm witnessing the history. That's what I like from my new team, and because I started being a football fan in 2011. It's really new, and the reason that pushed me to be a Manchester United fan, where I went, I used to I used to stay with United fans and Arsenal fans, and they were always arguing about the titles and other things. And for me, I came from the village, Panajam, not knowing anything about how their history had been and how they got all those titles. I could not say anything. So I chose a team without anyone, so that I could not be disturbed. Uh, okay, to leave that one. you asked me about how football is really shaping your leadership and why I still love football. Maybe I've never been a footballer, and but right now I'm a greatest fan. I like football. I'm also following World Cup because there's one thing that is really stand out: teamwork, and how sometimes you stand the pressure. The pressure that comes with football. And I don't think not everyone can really manage if you are if you are not born a leader, if you are not born with ability to become under some situations. Not everyone, and that's why you have always witnessed in any sport, like for instance, uh, wrestling, our local wrestling there. Anong ko iriera reto wutok chimana long ko iriera wutok, and when they get to maybe nong a big competition to jaltwal kaila new sometimes the problem always pressure. They lack that ability to always stand that pressure that comes from spectators watching you. You're not used to that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing even in leadership and in public speaking. If you always find yourself not saying anything in public, uh, that means you don't have the ability to stand the pressure. So it always applies in all corners of sports and leadership. Leadership and sports are always connected. If you are someone keen enough to also analyze how teamwork is really with sports. So another thing I like from sports, you know, it's always teaches a value of consistency. As a team, you always see that if the results are not on your favor, like in your favor, I mean, you'll always try your best to win in your next game. So that one really shows that you are consistent in your work. You would really want to overturn the results in your next game and other things, and and stand out. So consistency in sports always applies in leadership. If you are a leader, always find difficulties. You don't back up. You don't back out. You make sure you try your best and be consistent in what you're doing. So it's always applicable in everywhere. The values that we find in sports are things that we can even apply in our daily life if you are critical enough to analyze and relate things. So that is briefly about my experiences and how I take sport. Though I don't play football, I support it, and there's something that I always learn. I keep learning. Like for instance, that the game between Argentina and Egypt, I was keen enough, like really, I was supporting Messi, Lionel Messi, and one thing that stood out and made me really loved Messi was how he handled himself after that 2-0. It was very calm. It wasn't under any pressure. And I was telling my colleagues, Messi is very calm. You'll see the magic time will definitely come. And they were arguing, I don't know, your goat is going home and other things. And I was like, first wait and you see. Uh, there's something unique about Lionel Messi. He's always calm in any kind of atmosphere, whether they are losing or maybe they're winning. Always takes everything. He's someone that has won almost all the titles, but actually a title you undermine. Yen kai only uniqueness. No ngene kene. Chalo ko kon lumo maybe something that you have ever experienced. Ko himbe ba de then ka chuk lum with all your heart. Kubara chua tingi you're out and you're fully immersed. Kuna ngai randa war a penalty achi watch and they're now losing 2-0 again. E chanam ta return ku chin ku piet bere loy ku yin ga oi bai ku lori inte ya de lon ben ke na le wona le yo bi pin nam bulwel. You see? Ede chin ku ba loy but kana che ka che ka konta ka. Huh? So football teaches people like how to be how to stand some kind of pressure always, and how you sometimes survive different kind of atmospheres. So that's briefly that what I can say about sport, and I'll pass it on to my other colleague who is ready, maybe Luca.
Before you go to that colleague, thank you very much. When you were sharing your experience or your observation about football, you have not played football yourself, and here we have someone who has been a childhood football star who played really well. I want him before I come to look at it, to chime in. I want him to just reflect about those things that you have raised. You say football it's a powerful tool for leadership development, for consistency, for emotional, regulation. You talk about Messi, who is very calm in all situations and who is very humble. And I want to bring it back to Joke before I go to look. And for those who are just joining us, please share this conversation. We are spotlighting our very own football analyst, Jok WäMonychok, an economist, a media personality, an entrepreneur, and all the things. And so I want you, Jok, to really reflect about what Joel just said from outside, from your own experience. Fill us in if that is how you felt when you are on the football field and running around playing with against your opponent, but also extend it like how can sport be used as a tool for youth development, for leadership, and for peace building, especially in South Sudan, where our communities now are fragmented along tribal, ideologies or conflicts. So how can this sport, like football, become a tool for community development, for youth empowerment?
Okay, thank you. I think you made a very good point, Mr. Cholawan. Football has this ability to shape your character, shape your patience, shape teamwork, and even can shape your strategies. There are some strategies now we have developed based on football experience. But I would like to agree with you when it comes to the question of Messi. There are some people. I don't want to be pessimistic, but there are some people that are born into an empire. You cannot be able to identify. You cannot be able to know their characters. Messi is like a son that is born into an empire, like a son that is born into wealth, into power. Messi come from La Masia generation. He come from La Masia. And La Masia, that generation of Messi was the golden generation of La Masia from Barcelona. They have been winning a lot of trophies, and every day is winning. And when he's winning every day, he could just laugh at people. Even at some point where he was supposed to fight or supposed to be angry, he could not, because he saw himself as a winner. So you could not be able to identify his characters. But you could see in Argentina, the real Messi is what you see, or the real human being. Let me not judge Messi, but let me generalize it. Messi, you could see him as a human being when he's playing for Argentina, because Argentina was having some weakness, not this 2022, but before 2022, Argentina was so weak. We're having some challenges on the field. Messi could even fight. Even in 2022, Messi was fighting during the match against Holland or Netherlands. Messi actually showed who he was. You see? He was fighting, and even there are some matches in Spain when he was very, very, very rude. So at the moment, everyone is having the opinion that Messi is being favored. Argentina is being favored. There are some incidents, especially the match against Egypt. That match is controversial. And you could know the reason why Messi was very comfortable on the field, because he knew they were going to win. So there's a pause behind. Nowadays, football is no longer the football of those days, where football was real. Nowadays, football is being commercialized. These are sponsorships. This TV, how do you call it? the TV and promotion. You know, they are putting a lot of money. Say that because Messi has become a superhero, a football superhero, you know, he's being protected. Say that they don't lose the viewers. For the moment Messi is not out, you know, some people will not have interest of watching football. And then you'll have reduction in revenues. Yeah? So Messi is being protected. And it is even coming completely awkward because it is no longer football. Football is played based on fair play. And with Argentina, the way Argentina are being favored, you could not see anything related to fair play. Yeah? It is very biased. So that's it. And I wanted to come also to the question of leadership, how it can shape the leadership, how it can also shape the life of the people. You know, we are. I don't want to be that person who that's always having low opinion. But we should be honest, especially those of us in Africa, in South Sudan. You know, we have the economic situation and also the political situation of our country does not allow us to enjoy the privileges that we should be enjoying. Football is something that can generate a lot of revenues for the government, for the individuals and for the government. Let me take an example of UK. You know, the UK, the GDP of UK, you know, football contributes 8.9 billion euros annually. 8.9 billion euros. And when you go to Germany, it is 5 billion euros. You see? And the employment in UK, it is employing 90,000. In Germany, it is employing 110,000. You know, this shows that, and you have TV, you know, they have sponsorship, tourism, because the fans all over the world are going to watch Bayern Munich, they're going to watch Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, you know, Liverpool. You know, these are things that come as benefit that you enjoy with football, but we cannot be able to enjoy them here. But still, we have this idea that we will be playing football. Football will come. Look at what the South Sudan basketball team has been doing over the years. This is an inspiration, and people are trying to come together. It is benefiting us because people are coming together. They see themselves as brothers and sisters. You know, when South Sudan wins, it is the whole country that celebrate. You know, we are not dividing ourselves based on tribes or clans or whatever or religion. No, we are South Sudanese when we win. And this has actually tested our patriotism. It has shown that South Sudanese are very patriotic. You know, we are very, very patriotic. Is it? And only thing that we need football, you know, football to bring us together, change life. Football can change life. You know, you can change from no one to somebody. If you look at some people that came from humble background, people who were playing on the street, the like of Osimhen, now the Nigerian striker. You have those of Michael Essien. The mother used to sell the bread on the street of Ghana, of Accra. You have those of Kante. Yeah? A lot of people that came from poor background, you know, to be wealthy. It's football. When you talk of leadership, football has produced very good leaders. If you talk of in Liberia, we have this one. We have Jok WäMonychok. Jok WäMonychok became the president. You see, and he was a footballer. He was a Ballon d'Or winner. You see, this thing will go back to what I mentioned before about me starting my secondary school at Kwajok Secondary School. You know, I played the first match we played, the interclasses competition. I scored a hat-trick. You know, when I scored the hat-trick, I became popular in the whole school, and that one people were able to give the attention to me. You know, They gave the attention to me. They identified my leadership potential, and they were able to support me. And throughout my leadership, I did not face any challenge. I did not face challenges at all. Why? That's because of football. And why? Before playing football, I was having some issues that were even making me aggressive to others. When I found myself, I was loved by everyone. I was being embraced everywhere. You know, I developed good characters. You know, even the bad characters that I was having, they disappeared, and then the good characters came up. And that's why I want to lead it to the case of Messi. Messi is someone who is in the spotlight, someone who is being loved by everyone. You see, and this thing is is what is guiding him. He looks around, he finds that there's love everywhere. But let's try to direct hate on him. He will respond. Someone has written that I'm a Ronaldo fan. I cannot be a Ronaldo fan because me, I'm a Chelsea fan. And being a Chelsea fan means that you cannot like Manchester United. You can remember the old days of rivalry between Chelsea and Man United, and some kind of even controversies that have even given us some negative feeling toward Man United. Ronaldo was the player that was leading that team. He also went to Madrid, and Madrid, I also hate Madrid. And also I hate Barcelona. You see? So when I'm talking on a neutral point of view. I'm talking about the realities that are on the ground. So one day, football is going to shape this country. You can see the revenues that it can generate. The government can have a huge amount of revenues. People, the players being signed, you know, and even the taxes that are being levied on wages of the players. These are things that football can add to our economy, and it can be very, 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 very important. When I try to come up with the idea of macro and micro, because I want to relate it with the economy, because I will be talking about the issues, economic activities that are happening in football. I will be talking about TV rights. I'll be talking about signing players, you know, and even balancing the book, financial fair play, all these things that affect the economic activities or the economic factors that affect football. I will be talking about them. And some people were questioning me, you know, some were giving me calls, some were texting me that you should not be talking about minor things. You should be talking about national issues. And I said, there's no platform for me to talk about national issues. I'm just someone who is there. I don't have a position. And I don't think that there's an environment for such debate. What I know is that football is very lucrative. Even with the population that is following football, there is 70% of the world population is following football. If actually I'm good in presenting it, I present something good on macro and my day. Economically, I will improve because almost everyone is following football, and so this thing will come to South Sudan, where our life can change through football. Your son can go and play, and then your money is coming while you're on the bed. I think if there's something I did not touch, then you try to remind me.
To be honest, you touch everything and went above and beyond. And to your last point, I really like about how you connect your professional experience to your passion about football and bring statistics to actually prove the point of discussion and make this discussion more evidence based, more objective, and more educational as it should be. One thing I really liked about your presentation, especially in the context of how football or sport in general can bring youth empowerment to the country of South Sudan, can bring peace building. You mentioned something very profound, which I don't want anyone who might have missed by just joining us now to miss, is that there's so many people with a lot of talent and energy being wasted. You can see even on the street of Juba, you see Arsenal fans marching. They can even run a big hole. if you can, utilize that energy, that momentum, it can be an economic engine for the country, right? There's so much wasted, potential among young people. And many young people, because they don't have platform to exercise their passion or to exercise their talent and potential, they ended up, into activities who are counterproductive, right? Who, like, you mentioned how, being in spotlight can actually change you, like, developmentally, right? To change your anger issues or any, energy that you might use in a wrong way. And I really believe that, people that are watching here and people that are, using various platforms to actually take advantage of, of this energy, this talent, this potential among our young people, and, bring peace to the country. And we cannot wait for the leadership to start. We can start by people like you creating a platform, starting discussing issues like this. People like you, 10 family, who are here talking about the positive of sport in bringing in unity for young people. Yeah, and you mentioned a good example when our South Sudan went to World Cup on basketball. Everyone was united. No one was talking about Dinka or Abia or Lutuga or other tribe. No one. We were all South Sudanese with our flag on our back, and that is very important. Young people were inspired. Many young people who are tall now are thinking of, they might get the opportunity. Young girls, it was a good opportunity. If you are a tall girl, you know that you are a potential mother of basketball. And so everyone, see themselves in that space. I'm very sure, so I don't have vision of bringing forth, basketball, but I might give birth to footballers who are very short and very sophisticated. So thank you for that. I want maybe to get a reaction from Luca, if you just join us, about your thought on sport and what you've heard from Jok. What do you think in terms of how sport can become a great tool? How you have seen it yourself, and if you echo or align with what Jok said, and let us know if you are a Messi hater or a fan. And to be honest, while Luca is unmuting, yes, you are very right. These platforms now, like, are becoming more commercial, and so people like Messi, who bring more viewership, can be supported, right? And you have seen an example of, this also become a political avenue about, Trump card instead of red card. You saw that in the news.
Trump has
So
come in now. Trump is playing a lot of politics on people. Trump is controlling people now, and the way he's doing it is really making it. It's no longer football. I'm having low opinion about what he's doing on people. Yeah.
Look
Anyway,
at do you have the same opinion?
anyway, thank you, Madam Akwal Philip. Thank Jok and thank to everyone who are just listening to this show. I am in a very noisy place. Only that I am trying to understand more about football, because me, I'm somebody who love football, though I did not play football for more than 5 years in my life. But first of all, I really appreciate Jok for taking that time to be with us today. Media is very important. I will talk about football after I share a little bit about the media that Jok has touched before. Media is very important because me, I have been friend with Jok for almost 6 years, and we have never met. Since 2016, I get in touch with him on Facebook, but I did not. I thought the day I will meet him, I may not know him, I may not recognize him. Because for me, I'm somebody who has just joined media in 2015, and I don't know that when you meet someone online, when you meet them physically, you may also recognize them. Until 2021, toward 2022 there, I met him my first time to meet him, and still recognize him, And this is where I realized media can connect you even if you stay for 10 years or 20 years without being together, and you come together at one time, you will still recognize each other. I came to realize that one. And coming to the football, it is very important. that many African teams are now able to improve themselves and push up to the time that they even make the greatest nation in Europe suffer until even the controversial issues come in, so that they should also lose that much. We cannot bother to say that we should question more, because football is started way back when Africans were not part of it, so we cannot ask more question on that part. And on my own views, I see football is helping, is improving, and is helping us, especially South Sudanese, to come together. Like what you said before about Arsenal fan. They when you see them sitting together, you don't think like if they can fight each other, even if they say for 10 years. They cannot fight. Nobody can even bother to fight with someone. And some of them, even if they know that they have problem, like they were influenced by some of their relative or some of the people who want to promote tribalism. When they come together and sit as Arsenal fan, they don't mind about all the things that they have been going through. Even if you find someone is from Shuluk here, and you are told that Shuluk are not good people, you will not able to fight with that person if you know he's your fan. And I think it's not only here in South Sudan, even the time for Raila Odinga in Kenya before before he was rest in peace. There are some of the people who hate Raila Odinga. And when it comes to the time for Arsenal fan to go and march, all of them will join and play and share together with Raila Odinga, and they hate him in politics. And this proves that football is very, very, very unique in the way that people understand it. So if we put our mind and our energy and resources in improving football, our team here in South Sudan may not suffer. Maybe like basketball now. Basketball is helping us a lot and is improving. South Sudanese are coming together because they know they go and play and represent the flag of their nation. So this is very important. On my side, I'm not somebody who love any team in Premier League because I fall in love with football because of Real Madrid. I used to tell many people. Someone influenced me to join football, to love football in 2010 when I was in WoW because uh, he he's a Real Madrid fan and we were living together. So they used to negotiate, they used to argue with a Barcelona fan. And this is where even I decided to join him. And I told him, I want also to know more about football. And let me also keep talking about Real Madrid and talk about against a Barcelona fan. And this is where I become a football lover and also a fan. For those who think that when you are a fan of this team or you are a fan of Ronaldo, you want also to not to talk about others great footballers. That is not good. Like what Jok said, Jok is not a Ronaldo fan and he's not a Messi fan, but he is saying the truth, and the truth must be said. You do not keep quiet with it. Even me, I know there are some challenges with Ronaldo, though I'm a Ronaldo fan, but I cannot hide those challenges. Even though they will lower my the one whom I love most, but I can also say things that are in favor of Messi, and they were not supposed to be in favor of Messi. You know, due to that one, we cannot question much about whatever Messi is doing in Argentina or in the World Cup. No, we should not question that one. Maybe there is a hidden agenda behind it. So if there are those who support Messi, it is okay. But there are some of the things that happen, like the match of Argentina and Egypt. Even FIFA, they said they will review what the referee was doing, and they will see whether there are some challenges that will ban the referee not to officiate the next match or to be in the next World Cup. Why they say that one? It is because they know there are some of the things referee did, like giving yellow card in something which is not supposed to be for the player to be given a yellow card. And when it is also coming to the player for Argentina, the referee will not even bother to give a yellow card or even a foul to those players for Egypt. So this thing it is something people see, and I think it's very, very tough. It is going to be very tough. Anyway, on that issue, I really appreciate all those views that people share. Like one of the guy was saying in the comment section that Messi is the wall, is the one wall knows. Like as if Ronaldo has not been playing together with Messi. If you know yourself, you are Messi fan, don't jump in to say that Messi is the one which is world knows. There are a lot of sponsorship in the name of Messi. It is true. Ronaldo does not have more sponsorship in his name.
Ronaldo has
But
also. Ronaldo has.
yeah, no, Ronaldo has, but the one for Messi, they are more than that one for Ronaldo. And we should not come and say this one that Messi is the only one which is known in the world. It's shown that you want to ignore someone who has been competing for 9 years together with Messi, right? So this is my little advice that I want to give, and thank you, Madam Akwalfili, for giving me this chance.
No, you're welcome. And I can see
Can
you
I
talk
can
on
I can I
Twitter
add
that I
something? Can
cannot
I
be
can I can I put something across to Luca? I want to remind him of something. Yeah, Luca. Thank you so much for your words and for your input. I remember when we met and how we have interacted. That's why I mentioned before. A family can be someone born from another family, and you have been someone that always believe in me, that always push me. You always push me, even when I'm trying to give up. You try to push me, and it's something that I really appreciate. Few people are doing that. I would like to remind you about Mourinho, Etienne. Mourinho Etienne Manuel, our coach at Future Boys. In 2012 we are having a good run of form. We are winning a lot of games, and then we lost one game. That game discouraged me. I refused to come back to play. Mourinho went to my house, sat with me and said, in football, you cannot be winning every day. Don't take that idea. If you are winning every day and you think you can, there's football. That's not football. What I like from you is the way you are very disappointed with the defeat. This one will rejuvenate you and you will come back stronger. Mourinho encouraged me in so many ways, and this is where up to now I still remember him in my life. And football is like that. So I want to connect it with Ronaldo. Do you know why Ronaldo is inspiring me? Me, I believe in the fact that Messi is the best, and I used to believe that Messi is a football god. The way he plays like he's like perfect player. He's a perfect player. If you look at how he moves the ball, how he even read the game, his vision, his speed with the ball, his accuracy in shooting, you don't doubt. There are people that are gifted. There are people that are born with gifts. That's Messi. But Ronaldo is the one that represents us. Ronaldo is someone that came up. He came up through hard work. Ronaldo came up through resilience. When things are tough for him, that's when Ronaldo fights so hard to rise. And this is how I get inspiration from the two. Ronaldo is a leader. He's someone that can inspire you. He's the life he's living is the life we are living also. And anyone can be like Ronaldo. If you want to be like Ronaldo, you can be like him because it is hard work. And we are not talking about thing may be hard. You may not be a footballer. Ronaldo is a footballer, but there's a way you can be able to translate into other way of life. You see, so let no one think that I hate Messi. No, but football is a game based on fair play, and if we see that someone is being favored, we cannot be happy about it. But no one has questioned Messi. Messi is perfect. He's a football god. Thank you.
Thank you for adding that point. It's very powerful. Acknowledging the gift and the effort. We talk about this in the last conversation about what really defines success. Is it the gift, like people that are born with the gift, or is it the hard work? And your example today actually explain what that could have been. Like you place an example that someone being gifted and someone who worked, so hard to be who they're both success. Everyone admires them. But there is something that you personally can relate to, right? You personally you are relating to
Yeah.
the effort, to the dedication, to the consistency, to the vision, and all the sweat equity that Ronaldo has put into the game for him to be who he is today. It's inspiration that
Yeah.
even if you are not talented, Even if you are not born with resources that can, build your talent, you can still, fight hard and be a success. And that's the story of many of us here. For us to have access to internet, to be on the platform, on the U-turn today, some of us work so hard for it, right? Others, maybe they had opportunities that make them to be at a place or an environment that enable them to access those resources. But for others, they work so hard to be where they are, and that is a different inspiration, right? So I really appreciate that point. It's very powerful. It's well taken. I want to bring it back home to the work you do, on the media, because now media become a tool of, differentiating things like this, of educating, of empowering things. You mentioned earlier that you are building a media, Yanla ABA Media, and you're also working on, football commentatory podcasts. So maybe we can talk about, the vision for those two media, how people can support you there, and also bring it back home to an educational aspect that those media platforms play in educating people, informing people, and empowering communities, especially our own communities of South Sudan, most of whom need this conversation more than any other. So talk first about the work you are doing on your platform, and now connect it to why it's important and the impact that you see it generating to the community.
Okay, like I mentioned before, Yanlabia is a platform that was initially formed as an initiative. It was a campaign. Like the slogan was a campaign to fight for BA. And I said, fighting for BA does not only mean picking a gun and going to war. It means enlightening people about the case of BA. People are ignorant. People don't understand actually what is the problem in ABA. Even including the people who are in power now, majority of the people that are holding positions, when you see them talking, you will begin to know that these people, they have no idea completely about the case of ABA. And in most cases, they are blaming people. They are saying that the people of ABA are not united. The people of ABA are not even willing to be South Sudanese. But when you go to the ground and you see the battle that are being fought every day, when you see that, like in 2008, that was the time when I came back from Kakuma. I came in April, and in May, ABA was invaded. I was there. I saw everyone. People were running towards us. No one was running to the north. And the number of people that died in that battle, there were some women who were losing 2 children in one battle. Many women lost 2 children in the battle. So it means that, and even it repeated itself in 2011. It was embedded. And if we look at the economic situation of the people, and even the social situation of the people, you realize that the impact of the situation is really bad. That was when I came up with this idea. I knew it was going to be very difficult because, people that are in a problem, in most cases, they try to fight the one that want to help them. They were the one to fight. This is something that came from even during creation. If you look in the Bible, there are stories. Even Moses had some challenges when he was trying to bring people out from Egypt to the promised land. They're the same even here in South Sudan now. The leaders that liberated us now, they are completely being, things are made very hard for them to do what they want to do. So when I came up with it, I knew that it was going to be a big issue, but I was hoping that the message was going to be passed through Facebook, through social media. And that's when I created Yalabia. So I was able to post or to write articles. By the way, Panwell will help a lot. Panwell was very receptive. Whenever I write my article, he was always publishing it. And he was very supportive of Yalabia. A lot of people supported it when it came to how the message was going. We had t-shirts. The purpose was actually to enlighten people. so that people know what is ABA and what is happening in ABA. Everything, all the news that are happening, everything, every event that are going on in ABA, we used to publish them so that people were able to know what was going on. And then I came up with this macro on my day. Although it has not started yet, but I have changed how my timeline is. Now I'm just talking about football and all this, and I'm just waiting for the media equipment, of which even with the Alabia it was very hard. These were just these basic media equipment. But the real one, the idea was that I should have a studio. I should have a studio where I can invite people and they sit, we interview them, they tell them what they know, and they tell us what they know, and then they also tell us what we should do in future and what we should be doing now. But it has become very difficult. I'm not able to mobilize such resources such that I can get media equipment and also have a studio. The same also to this macro on my day, but it's on a smaller scale. Can I have some basic equipment like the mics, the mobile phone, the tripod, and the lights? I can be able to do it. I can also move to someone. We talk, I record it, and then I put it on. This thing is not a big deal. But the challenge I faced with the Alabia was that the media equipment were not able, and even some other objectives, such as supporting the students with the learning materials and also connecting them with the scholarships. Also, I was thinking that Alabia could be a platform where those in need can meet those who are able to support them. But it could not. It could not happen. These are things that are associated with how things, plans. Not every plan can succeed, but I believe it has had an effect because we did some public lecture. There are some public lectures that we did, and they were very successful, and also the public view was very positive because everything we put on that page is always credible information. You could not be able to see hate speech, misinformation, or any other thing that's negative. We always focus on something, and we also try because everyone. Like if you go to the timeline now, you will see that there are videos of Noel dancing, Chiluk dancing, Dinka dancing. Anything that I see that is very positive, I put it so that everyone feel that they are part of it. You see, so the reason for that is that I need everyone to feel that they are part of it, they see themselves in it. Otherwise, for this macro, and my day is all about my passion. Because I've been hoping that I could be able to have some say about the event that are happening around the world in football. Reaction to the football matches, analysis, and news update. This is something personal. To me, it is personal. This is my macro on my day. It's about my passion. And I'm connecting it with my profession so that it can actually have value or be valid. Because in some cases, when you are someone who has knowledge on that, is your profession, you gain some trust when you say something, you are being trusted because it is your field of career or your field of study. That's why I'm trying to connect them. But I also have my long time in football, playing football, watching football, interacting with fans, has given me that platform or that idea that if I come up with an initiative that can bring people together to talk about football, it can be embraced.
Wow, thank
I
you.
think.
Yeah.
So if there's a point that you want to drive me to, please try to, because maybe I might have left some.
you haven't left anything out. And thank you for sharing that, big vision, big dream. And I'm wishing you and all on behalf of the U-Turn team a very success on your journey of connecting your education, your professional experience with your passion to build something. And who knows, it would be, the flagship fandom media house in the country. And maybe if your video ended up landing somewhere, you might be a commentator for a big uh, continental event one day if you keep pushing. And that brings me back to the next question. I know we are running out of time. If you still have a few minutes, is that sometimes many young people give up very much. Based on the journey that you have shared, you have demonstrated persistence and you are still dreaming big, you are still going. So, my question is what advice would you give to young South Sudanese people who have big dreams like yourself, but they find themselves in an environment that is lack resources to activate those dreams or to subnurture those dreams to be somewhere? Or as you rightly mentioned, they meet negativity or discouragement. As you say, you come as with good intention to help your community, to help your people, but the very own people that you want to support or empower turns against you or not support you or discourage you. So what advice can you give to them based on your experience?
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. But when I always try to talk, I don't like to be someone that's they call it a crybaby. Someone who cries because they did not get the opportunity that they are supposed to get. But when I find myself talking, it's because I'm not alone. There are people like me. There are so many people like me that are having the same challenges that I'm facing, that are having the same ambitions that I have, and they are having obstacles that I'm facing. This is normal because if you look at everyone, uh, no one wants you to succeed. No one wants you to succeed. There are only few people that always try to build others. There are very few that want to build others. But majority of the people have some philosophy that always try to not to support others. And whatever journey I take, I always put it in my mind that it cannot be determined. Whatever I do, whatever I achieve, cannot be determined by someone else, unless someone that has a benefit. And there's this theory called the principle of invisible hand in economic, invisible hand philosophy, invisible hand principle, where in the market people think that those people who are in the market are working for the benefit of the wider economy. That may be the idea of others, but that's not the idea. Everyone that's in the market, in the economy, are after their own interests. They are after their own interests. But while they are trying to serve their interests, they are also trying to sustain the economy, and they are also serving the interests of others. That's how it is. People will come together to support themselves when they share the same vision, you see, and when they are able to share the same benefit. Take, for example, someone that come up with a foundation. The person will come up with a foundation to help the needy. What is that person doing? What is the benefit? That person has a benefit. The benefit is the name. The name will remain forever. Then the name of the person that has helped people will always remain forever. So you may think that that person wants to help the needy, but that's not the primary aim. The primary aim is for his name to be in the mouth of every household. That this person is the one that's helping me. This person is the one that's helping me. But I'm not trying to downplay the fact that there are some people that are completely generous. There are people that can support you without any interest. There are some people even that can support you and tell you that don't mention my name. They are there. And they are doing that because they have developed the liking of what you do. They have developed the liking for you. They believe what you are doing may also support others in future. See? And therefore, once you are faced with obstacles, that's not the end of it. You have to try. Because at some point, God can protect you in different ways. The direction that you are taking may be dangerous for you. And God is trying to divert, your direction to another separate place. And if you fail there, if you are disappointed there, don't curse anyone. Don't curse yourself. Don't give up. You try to look for other ways where you can succeed. See? Because we don't know tomorrow. We don't know what is happening. We don't completely know. Some things are protections. Some things that happen in life, even failures, they are protection. You see? Because if you do not fail, it's like someone missing a flight and the flight and the plane crashed. You see? What is that? You have been protected. But before that, before the crash, you were so disappointed. You even thought this is something maybe there was devil that was trying to prevent you from going to where you are going to succeed or where you are going to get something. So this is how I feel. Whenever I fail, whenever I don't achieve what I want to achieve, I feel that yes, within myself, I know one day my purpose will be realized. And I also believe in the fact that in human life, there are periods of success. Because no human being can be successful forever. Like you cannot be successful for many years. It doesn't happen. You may be having a time that can be very impactful in your life. That can be memorable. Like if you look at those of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King rose during the time of civil. How do you call it? The civil rights movement. The civil rights movement is when Martin Luther King rose. And that period, I think the 4 years or something like 5 years, that is the period that has made Martin Luther King one of the greatest leaders in the world, despite the fact that he died 60 years ago. See, if you look at those of Tupac, also they had a very short time, very successful, and then they died. So you don't know, we cannot know what is happening about life. What is important is that today has passed, tomorrow will come, like that. You don't know when, what is that period. And this is what I want every young person to know. Every young person to know. Even your father cannot support you when he sees that you are not that person that is, that fit in the definition of a good son. If you see your father supporting you, it means that there's something good going on. He has seen that there's something good going on. So what if it is other people outside? So whatever you do, don't focus on others. Like, take for example, now I have been complaining. I've been complaining about the economic situation of our country and how it is affecting local businesses. Once, these people of city council, they came to my office and they gave me a receipt and they said that you have to pay. If you don't pay, you come to the office tomorrow. I went there. I said, I met another person that did not come. The one in the office. I told her, Madam, the reason I've registered this company, the status that it is in is not a status of the company. Because economically, if you are having 3 months consecutively without having profit, if the revenues are lower than the expenditure, then you have to come with the decision of closing it. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm running this company without the hustle that I do with my pocket money, hoping that one day it will improve. but your economy is not improving because you are taxing people. You don't have this preferential treatment for these local business, the businesses that are trying to come up. You are milking them until they die, and then they will disappear because you don't protect them. You don't have policies that protect the local businesses and even these small businesses. So now the reason I'm registering it is for the status, maybe to be said that Jok has a company, but in real sense, it is not a company. A company should be able to have, to have high return. And then the woman asked me, what can you afford? I told her the amount that I could afford. Then I paid. I was very happy with that because she was understanding. But in real sense, there are inspirational quotes that tell us not to complain about the environment. But environment is a factor. Environment is a factor that if you are not strong-hearted, you can be frustrated. And then you lose direction. So despite the fact that the environment is not conducive, let's fight on. Because if we pass this hardship, this hardship will be what? It will be the strength later. There will be the experience.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm been inspired myself. I thought it was for young people, but even old people can get inspired. You just shared a very important message about, seasons. There are seasons in life. There are seasons when things are not working, and then there are seasons where things work. And what you just shared is that to encourage young people to persevere or endure the hardship and even take initiative to negotiate with in the environment, like what you did going to the office and share the reality that you are experiencing and in the vision that you hope to at some point come out of that. And what you might have in spark conversation about policy change indirectly. If that lady has influence in that office, she might even go and talk about it and and come up with strategies or ideas or even policy suggestions on how to support struggling small businesses or local businesses like yours. So you might have influence directly, and that is a big lesson young people can learn from that. From my own experience, I've worked with entrepreneurs across Africa in health, and I am also an entrepreneur myself, although not like great successful entrepreneur. I'm a struggling entrepreneur. A lot of my ventures, died at early stage. But one thing that I have realized for those who move beyond the early stage to become to accelerate their solution or innovation is that they overcome a place called the valley of death. The valley of death is the situation where you are right now, where your organization is not moving forward. You get stuck. And that is not sometimes not about the solution you are offering. It's about the environments or economic conditions you are in at that time. And for many young people, especially in Africa context, they sell their ideas when they are in that death valley, right? Instead of persevering. And when they sell, the season of growth come, and now that idea become $1 billion idea. Now someone else is reaping the benefits, but if they had persevered and keep fighting and go through that period, they would have now become billionaires. But because they gave up easily, sell their business to other people, now the other people become rich out of the ideas, and that have impacted many young people. So thank you so much for sharing that. I want to give this opportunity to Luca to share. Usually we end with U-turn message, like what is your overall message, the takeaway for all the U-turn community and audience that might later on listen to this video in the future. So maybe Luca, if you have 2 minutes to share your insight, and then you will come and close it. Other members fell off. Take it away. You can share what have you learned, 1, 2, 3 things that you've learned from this conversation, and Duke will come and close it with our takeaway. Luca, if you are available, take it away.
Okay. Thank, thank you so much, Madam Akwal Philip, and also Job. for encouraging messages that you have shared. One thing that I took away from this conversation, as Jok also explained and shared the challenge that he has faced. I hope the most important thing is not to give up on the thing that you want to achieve in life. That is one of the things that I can pick at the main point. And also, when you have fall into the column of very many challenges in life, don't try to prejudge or to blame the environment that you are in. Maybe you are in the season of you are in the season of learning. Like what I told you last when I first talk about my experience with the thing that I have faced in my life. There are the there are some of the people who might be there and they wanted to support you, but they want to know first what are your vision and the mission. What do you want to achieve in life? What are you up to? And when they don't know those things, when they don't see that ambition in you, they may not be there to help you. And this is one of the challenges that some people don't try to push themselves harder. Like when there are challenges that they go through, they immediately give up and they want to look for a shortcut. And the worst thing to do in life is to look for a shortcut. If you go for a shortcut, the shortcut are always the toughest one. Then the condition that you will stay in and keep pushing yourself. Like when COVID-19 came in 2020, I did not manage I was planning to go back to village. Like I see the life in town is very tough, but something came to my mind and said, if this is the last option that I will do to go back to the village, and I cannot endure it so much, what if things did not move well where I want to go? And this and I was planning that I must have my degree from Upper Nile University. So I told myself that it is better for me to stay here and endure the situation. So I moved for 3 to 4 months until when I joined that network marketing business, which pushed me to learn about the way people have to push their thing and the challenges that many people were facing in life. Even I went and met some people who have been in a very many difficulties that are more than mine. You know, so when you give up easily, you will not be able to make it, and you will not be able to achieve the thing that you want to achieve in life. And also, Jok has talked about the situation that you go through and the challenges and whatever you want to push, you want to have in your life. You may meet some obstacles that will block you, but those obstacles you should not take them like this is the last one. When he was talking about when you miss a flight, you may think there is someone working behind you or there is evil thing, but might not be evil thing. It might be a set. It might be it might be something like which is preventing you from going to dangerous thing, right? Like when you fail, it is when you fail to get something that you want, you may think that is evil. No, it might be preventing you from entering into something that will destroy you completely. So this is the setback, and you have to find a way to also give thanks to God and don't try to be impatient or to be somebody who has already lost everything. No, failure also in life. When you fail, it's like it give you experience, because there are some of the experience you may not learn when you did not fail. You learn them through hard way. Like when I got from the book of Robert Kiyosaki, when he read that and for that, he was talking about like a cat can always learn. The cat learn the hardest thing when even today cat cannot sit on the canul, right? Yeah, and mabagder actually bunyu manganum, because there is a time jen you manganum whether you might go in you. So today cannot do that one again. So in business, when you fail, uh, you will know there is something that you have not done in the right way. So you will go and do another strategy that will help you to find a way that you can do good thing to also succeed. So Jok has explained everything, and I have fixed a lot of the point here.
Oh, thank you so
Thank
much,
you. Back to
Mr.
you, Akwa.
I really, that analogy of can learn a lesson opposite. Thank you for sharing that great reflection and great message by echoing all the point that you have said. It's very true that we learn from hardship, and hardship make us better people. I cannot add more to that. Maybe to just give you the last opportunity to share with us the advice that can go with us, the U-turn message. We really honored to have him. And if you, for those who joined this, please share this conversation. You don't know who might be touched, who might be inspired. We're not only talking about World Cup analysis. We talk about life. We talk about dream. We talk about business. We talk about media. We talk about so many things, and these are politics as well. These are part of our life, and they are inspirational. So, Joe, please close the conversation with your U-turn message.
I've al- yeah, I've always been coming across your videos, and I've been always very inspiring. I'm very happy that today we have connected, and I really appreciate U-turn, the U-turn podcast. Uh, I think what I'm going to say will not be new because I have exhausted much. Uh, we are born under different circumstances, and we have our own ways. You know, there are so many ways that we can shape our lives differently, and we may see that this person is happy, this person is like this and that, and we think that the lives the way we see it, but life is always different. There are sometimes, many times, I have been called to write something about someone's emotion. Yeah, someone can tell me, please you post this thing about my emotions, and I write them. I post. Most majority of people think that it is me. You see, and when before I realized what was the reason for that is because there are things that when you see them, you see them, like when you see yourself in the mirror, you are able to correct yourself. You are able to correct yourself in the mirror because of the way you have seen yourself. But there are some times when something within you and you cannot be able to see it, you cannot be able to correct it because you cannot see it. And to conclude my talk is that football is something good. Football is something good, and it's something that if you have the opportunity, you know, to put your children into the game so that they can be successful and they can change everything. They can change your name, you know, and the life of your child can be changed forever. The generations can be changed. Social media is another thing because you can interact with people, you can present yourself. Even there's marketing, you can be able to market your products, your services, you can be able to present them. Your ideas also can be able to do them. You can be able to present your ideas, people who don't know you, because some of us were not born into the kingdom or into an empire. Like my father was not. He tried to move out to the liberation struggle, but he did not become a commander. But he contributed. He made a contribution, a very strong contribution. Even the president knows about that. But it did not end up like others who have their name and they are being known. It's not like that. But I can come with different story. I cannot cling to my father his name, whether he was like this or not. I can change my life. Social media, if I use it positively, can connect me well with others. If I use it negatively, can give me problems with others. See? So I was trying to say, like a king, a prince that's going to be the king is not exposed to the public. Even can be sent to another country to study under a different name. Say that the name is concealed. But for a person like you who is not, who don't have names, you know, you can use social media positively so that you can make impact. You may not be a politician, but there are some ways you can impact others. Like the way we have we have come together now. So there's someone that might have been inspired. Social media can be able to help. In terms of how you can be able to change the direction of your life, it is still the same. Like, I hope there will be another day I will talk about 442 formation. People have been asking me, what is 442 formation? And it is a philosophy, a life philosophy that I adopted from football, from a formation of a game. And I have interpreted into my own life, where I use it in a very solid manner, that many things that seem serious about me are not serious. So I really appreciate the team. Thank you so much, Madam Akwal Philip. And thank you so much, Luca. And the rest of the members, I really appreciate the opportunity you have given me. I can assure you that anytime you need me, I will also be there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we will need you to come and talk about that philosophy, share it with us, and share it with everyone who can benefit from it. Your call to action, your last message about if you did not come from an empire, let empire come out from you. It's very powerful, and I'll take with that. We have a platform, and if we use platform for good, we can build empires. And it's doable, it's achievable. I believe in it. Thank you for your encouragement. So thank you, Luca. Thank you, Jok. It was an honor to finally host you. And now you are a member of the U10 family, and we will be in touch on many occasions to support each other, then to grow together and make a U10 in our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
As we come to the end of this conversation, I just want to take a moment to remind you that the growth doesn't happen without taking a new direction. So if there is a message that has given you some clarity, some courage, or even a little bit of push towards the positive direction, I want you to take that with you, sit with it, go offline with it, and encourage you to continue to invest in your personal growth, and say thank you for taking the time to be here for yourself and for the community, for the growth of the community. The U-Turn is not just a show. It's a community where real talk, real growth, and real U-Turn happens. So until next time, stay empowered, stay intentional, and never be afraid to make a U-Turn. Thanks. Bye.